All right, today we're diving into something pretty cool, an ancient system of logic that honestly feels more relevant now than ever. Think of it as a toolkit for your mind, designed to help us cut through all the noise with some serious clarity.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Every single day, you're just bombarded with information, right? Data, opinions, headlines, it never stops. And trying to figure out what's real and what's, just noise, it can be totally overwhelming. But here's the wild part. This isn't a new problem. Not at all. Thousands of years ago, a group of brilliant thinkers came up with a powerful toolkit to deal with this exact issue.
So, what is this ancient toolkit? It has a name, Nyaya. It's this incredible school of philosophy from ancient India, and really, at its core, it's all about one thing, creating a rock-solid method for how we think. In fact, it's often called Tarkashastra, which literally translates to the science of reasoning. How cool is that?
Okay, so what exactly is Nyaya? Well, it's a whole system built around logic and epistemology, which is just a fancy word for the study of knowledge itself. Like, how do we know what we know? And the name Nyaya can be translated as method or even justice. And that's just perfect, right? Because the whole point is to arrive at a just, correct conclusion through a really fair and logical process. And this whole school of thought, it didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was founded by a sage, Akshapada Gautama. He's the one who laid out all the core ideas in this amazing foundational text called the Nyaya Sutras. You can think of it as the original blueprint for this entire system of thought.
But here's the thing you've got to understand. This isn't just about winning arguments or, sounding smart at a party. No way. Nyaya has a much, much deeper goal. So what is it? It's about using logic to achieve something absolutely fundamental to being human.
Okay, so the whole philosophy is built on this incredible chain of thought. It all starts with a really powerful idea. Ignorance is the root cause of our suffering. From there, logic is the tool we use to get valid, correct knowledge. And that knowledge, it's what gets rid of the ignorance. So when the ignorance is finally gone, well, that's when you achieve liberation. See, logic here isn't just some dry academic exercise. It's a legitimate path to freedom.
So that leads to the big question, right? How do we actually get this valid knowledge? How can you be sure that what you think you know is actually true? Well, Nyaya doesn't just leave you hanging. It gives us a super clear framework, and it's built on 4 primary ways we can gain knowledge.
These are called the pramanas. Think of them as the 4 pillars of this entire system for understanding reality. So, let's break them down one by one.
Okay, number 1, and probably the most straightforward, is pratyaksha. That's just a fancy word for perception. This is the knowledge you get directly through your own senses. You see a tree with your own eyes, you feel rain on your skin, you hear a bird sing. It's the bedrock, right? It's what we'd call first-hand evidence.
All right, next up we have anumana, which is inference. This is all about connecting the dots. You don't see the fire itself, but you see smoke rising from behind a hill. Based on what you already know, you logically infer there's got to be a fire. This is the engine of reasoning, of deduction. It's what we do all day long.
The third path is called upamana, and this one is all about comparison, or using analogies. Think about it. This is how we learn new stuff all the time. If I tell you a wild ox is an animal that's kind of like a cow, you instantly have a picture in your head. You're using what you already know, a cow, to understand something new. It's a super powerful tool.
And finally, number 4 is shabda, or testimony. This is the knowledge we get from a reliable, trustworthy source. I mean, let's be real. We can't possibly discover everything ourselves, right? So we have to rely on credible experts, doctors, scientists, historians. This is all about knowing who to trust and, in our modern world, verifying your sources.
Okay, so we've got these 4 paths: perception, inference, comparison, and testimony. They sound great in theory, but how do they actually work together in the real world? Let's walk through a classic example to see how they all connect.
All right, so imagine you're traveling in a place you've never been. A local or someone you trust tells you, hey, watch out for the wild ox in the forest. It's an animal that looks a lot like a cow. Boom. Right there, that's step 1. You've just gained knowledge through shabda, testimony.
So, a little later, you're actually walking through that forest, and you see an animal you've never seen before. You're taking it all in, its shape, its color, its size. You're seeing it with your own 2 eyes. That's step 2, pratyaksha, direct perception.
And here's where the magic happens. This is where it all clicks. You remember what the local told you. That's your testimony. You're looking at the animal right now. That's your perception. Then you use comparison. You think, that does look a lot like a cow. By putting all of this together, you can confidently say, that's a wild ox. You've just gained new, valid knowledge by weaving these paths together. Now, I know that seems like a pretty simple story, but the process underneath it is actually incredibly powerful. And this isn't just some dusty old historical idea. This ancient toolkit is so relevant to how we think and make sense of the world right now, today.
I mean, just look at how neatly this all maps onto our modern world. Pratyashat, or perception, that's what we call direct observation, or getting first-hand evidence. Anumana, or inference, that's the very heart of data analysis and logical deduction. Upamana, or comparison, we use that all the time with things like analogical reasoning and case studies. And Shabda, testimony, that's literally citing expert sources and verifying their credentials. This isn't some ancient relic, it's the blueprint for critical thinking.
So, let me leave you with this question. The next time you're scrolling through your phone, or reading an article, or even just talking with a friend, think about it. Which of these paths to knowledge are you relying on the most? Is it your own direct perception? Are you making an inference? Are you trusting testimony? Just being aware of your own mental toolkit is the very first step to using it a whole lot better.